we have a lot of contradicting
Actually,
letters.
supposedly, we're not supposed to work, but here we
Yeah.
are, almost 3 years in, and we're happy.
Yeah. Okay. So, this is going to be our first episode of Ask Baba.
Are you just asking me?
No, we're gonna ask each other actually. It's something that we really do when we're in a private space.
Yes.
So let's get on with the questions.
Mhm.
The topic today will be about MBTI and its effect with our relationships. Can you briefly explain MBTI? What's MBTI?
MBTI is a personality assessment. It comprises of 4 letters. The first set is introverted versus extroverted.
Mm-hmm.
The second is sensing versus intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
The third one is thinking versus feeling. And the last one is judging and perceiving.
So later we'll be explaining each
Yes.
so that we would understand it more.
Yeah.
So how long have you been hooked with MBTI?
More than 10 years.
What got you into reading about it?
Well, I'm a structured person, so I like boxing people in.
More analytical.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's
I like
true.
boxing people in, categorizing them.
Does it help when you box people?
Well, it's not a clear-cut
Mhm.
boxing naman, but it gives you a general feel of the personality. But
Mm.
it doesn't necessarily mean na kunyari same ng MBTI personality, that those two people will really be the same. There will be a variation still.
That's true. So when we met, he was talking about MBTI and I was
Yeah.
talking about astrology and zodiac signs.
Tama,
And we were like,
tama.
oh, which one is better?
Of course, I believe in my in my
Yeah, but
metrics.
I honestly got hooked with
Oo nga pala,
MBTI.
si
Oo,
astrology
diba,
pa.
diba?
Yeah.
We were debating a bit.
That's true.
Na okay, which one is more accurate? Is it
Mm.
MBTI? Is it astrology? But I found MBTI more accurate actually
Yeah,
recently,
it is.
especially when I've been reading about how it is, how it affects one's personality, how you could gauge someone that you met for the first time
That's true.
with their personality type.
Mm.
So the first question is, what are your MBTI and how accurate do you feel they are in describing you? So what is yours first?
So I'm an ISTJ.
Mhm.
It's very accurate for me.
So what's ISTJ?
Generally. So it's introverted and
Mhm.
introverted. That's self-explanatory. S is sensing.
Mhm.
So I usually believe in the senses
Mhm.
rather than the future or the intuition.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking. I also base my decisions mostly on how I think and what is logical than how I feel generally.
Mhm.
But recently, the thinking is going to the feeling a little bit more. So I'm in the middle, I think. Pero
Mhm.
but I'm a thinking generally. So I'm just trying to be more sensitive because you're a sensitive person.
Yeah.
And the last one is judging. So I'm more organized and very structured person.
So are you saying that it
Mhm.
it kind of shifts?
Yeah, it does. The theory behind that is that you really are what you are, but you can shift depending on your environment or the people you are with. But
yeah.
in essence, when you go back to your regular routine, you'll go back to your regular self.
Mine is ENFJ.
ENFJ.
So we have a lot of contradicting
Actually,
letters.
supposedly, we're not supposed to work, but here we
Yeah.
are, almost 3 years in, and we're happy.
Yeah. E is extroverted. I'm very extroverted, obviously. And then N is
Intuitive.
But I feel like sometimes I'm in the middle.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's why we're working.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're super intuitive, no.
Yeah.
It's a no for me.
So how do you explain an intuitive person?
You think so far ahead that
Mm.
sometimes you forget what's in the now.
So are you saying intuitive people are a bit
Dreamy.
dreamy? Yeah,
Dreamy
yeah, yeah.
and sometimes non-practical.
Mm, that's true. That's true. Well, there are times that
There are
I'm
times,
like
there are times.
that. Like this one, the podcast.
Well, you're that in terms of your art,
I
but
think
you're grounded by
that's true.
your family
That's
also, that
true. The upbringing, I
the
guess.
upbringing, that you are not so
Dreamy.
dreamy,
In a way that it's not doable anymore.
dreamy riding a unicorn.
Well, I think it really helps when you're an artist being intuitive.
That's true.
Because if you're very structured in a way, it's kind of hard to paint. For me, personally speaking, because I tried to be more structured,
Not structured,
more what?
more realistic.
More realistic when it comes to painting. That sometimes it's something that I can't really do. I try to do it, and then it kind of changes how I am
Mm.
as an artist. That's why I think it works to be a bit intuitive
Yeah.
when it comes to being an artist. If I'm more of a feeling person,
You are.
yeah, that's true. I am. That's one of the reason I think is proving how much I am very empathetic in a way. I am really really empathetic. Like I cry when I see people experiencing things that are tearjerkers. I
That's
tend
true.
to get mad when people are mad. I tend to be depressed when people are depressed as well. What do you think makes feeling people advantageous in a way?
Well, you're more sensitive
Mm-hmm.
to others.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the main advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
You are more in touch with your emotions, so you are not repressing anything. Generally,
Mm-hmm.
you're more in touch and aware, as compared to thinking people that usually represses their feelings,
That's
and
true.
it comes to a point that it bursts out and gives you anxiety generally.
What are the downsides though? I mean, basing it on your part.
Well, feeling sometimes becoming too sensitive,
That's true. That's true.
that
I'm guilty.
that
I'm too sensitive.
sometimes that it's not supposed to be an issue,
Mm.
or it's not supposed to cause friction. It still does
That's true.
sometimes.
That's true. And then the last letter is J.
JJ.
Yeah, the judging. So
Judging.
that's where we match, I guess.
Yes, yes. We're both structured, and
Yeah. Can you explain the P so that people would understand the difference between P and
P
a
is
J?
more laid back
Mm.
and chill. I think that's the difference. As to judging that is more structured and wants to do things as planned, and that's it.
Do you think our MBTIs are accurate with each other?
What do you mean accurate? Compatible?
No, I mean like accurate
Yes,
personally.
it's accurate.
Second question.
Yeah.
Do you think understanding each other's MBTI types has helped improve our communication?
Yes.
Yeah, it did.
It
It did.
did.
It
Mm.
did improve our communication
Initially,
process. Yeah.
initially pa lang, I think.
That's true. That's true. Because I think if we didn't know what our types were,
Mm.
we would have clashed more, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's true.
And it would be harder for us to communicate, especially when it comes to understanding each other's emotions, how each other thinks, how we deal with certain situations.
Actually, it's much more helpful now.
That's true. That's true.
Kasi
Because
I didn't see the intuitive side of you
before.
in the beginning, because you're a flexible person.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
You're very flexible. You're
That's
very adaptive to everything and
That's
everyone.
true.
So during the start of a relationship, you were very flexible with the intuitiveness.
That's true. That's true.
But now I see it a lot more,
Mhm.
that I understand that it's part of who you are.
I'm really flexible, no?
Mm.
Like with the people around me,
I'm not
I
flexible.
usually adapt to their personality instantly. Like I carry it with me when we meet. Like when I meet my friends and there's like a strong personality type among those friends,
Mm.
I can't not bring it home with me. Like their personalities. And then it changes and then it changes and it changes. But I think it works. It works for me because I keep on changing.
It's also helpful for us
That's true.
because I'm not a flexible person.
That's
I'm very
true.
rigid.
Because I feel like if we were both rigid, we would have clashed
That's true.
more. Because I wouldn't be able to adapt to
Mm.
how you are, how you think. Third question. Have you ever found that your MBTI types clash? If so, how did you work through it? How did we work through
Yeah.
it? we did. We did clash. Especially
Mm.
with the introverted extroverted thing. He's more of the okay, I just want to stay at home, rest.
There are times when I'm tired.
Yeah, and I had moments before that I would just like to go out, explore, experience, and I totally understand him. Sometimes you really have to lie down
Mm.
and to just rest at home and to just relax. I think that's where me adapting easily came into practice
Mm.
because now I've learned how to also stay at home, also enjoy being introverted in a way.
Extroverted with me.
Yeah, introverted with him. How did we get through it? How did we
Mm.
get through?
Well, it's just adjusting.
Oh, that's true.
I think I was more of a thinking person nga before.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also, even though I'm a rigid person, I
Mhm.
also adjusted to his personality
That's true. That's true.
and being more sensitive as much as I can.
That's the that's the key pointers. Do you think MBTI can predict relationship success or is it just a fun tool?
It's a tool, but it doesn't predict it kasi our personalities are not supposed to go well together.
That's true. That's true. And yeah, basing it on what you've mentioned a while ago, it really changes. Like
Mm.
you adapt to each other because you learn so
Mm.
much with each other's personality types, and you experience a lot of things together as the relationship goes and moves. You tend to adapt with each other's
We have less fights
flaws.
now,
And
right?
yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, we learn how to communicate
That's
better.
Mm.
Because before,
Before away talaga.
oo, away talaga. As in like, bangayan talaga. And yeah, we learn how to deal with each other's annoyances.
That's
X.
true.
We listen and we don't judge.
You're also less sensitive now.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I think what happens in your daily lives also helps you adjust
Mm.
with each other
That's true.
in a way.
It's just a tool, I guess.
Mhm.
It just gives you a general feel of your partner
Mhm.
and how you can manage through your relationship more than
Mm.
being a predictor of success. So in any relationships, both parties have to adjust,
That's true.
even if your personalities really do match well with each other.
Mhm.
Well, it's easier, of course, but the partners would still adjust.
How do your personality types complement each other in daily life? How do we complement each other? Do we complement each
Yes.
other?
Well, I'm the more not organized. I'm more structured
Yeah, that's true.
in terms of numbers, in terms
Mhm.
of
You know, I'm very guilty with this one because yeah, I used to be super duper intuitive. Like when something pops in my head,
Mm.
I instantly feel like, oh, I can achieve it, I can do it, blah blah blah. But meeting him, I've learned to also analyze if it is doable, if I could really do it,
Mm.
if time constraints are possible,
Yeah.
and if it's something within my skill set. Like I've learned how to gauge if it's really doable or not. On the other side, I feel like you learn how to be more emotional. In
That's
a
true.
way, you learn how
That's
to
true.
be more
Empathetic.
empathetic with certain scenarios.
That's true.
Because before he's very he's very strict with his thinking.
That's true.
He's like, not really. But yeah, we really complemented each other. Especially, I think this is one thing that the relationship benefited. Where you lack
Yeah, you
is
provide.
the other
You add
provides.
more fun and excitement while
Mm.
I
You add
ground us
more. Yeah,
together.
that's true. That's true. I think
So
that's
that's
why
the
it's working.
yeah, that's the that's
That's why it's
the
working. What do you think about the criticisms of MBTI being too simplistic or not scientifically grounded?
well, that's true. So
Mm.
I don't think it's really a bible of personality.
That's
So
true.
it just gives you an overview and a general feel on
Mhm.
how a person would react.
Yeah, and like
Because like actually my mom is an ENFJ like you.
yeah, that's true.
So the both of you are still different.
That's true.
So it doesn't really predict
Mm.
100%.
It's just a way for you to gauge someone, but you shouldn't box people
That's true.
in that type, in that
True.
certain type, because sometimes they have experiences that
That molds us.
that
Well,
molds us.
that's the wonder of of people,
Yeah.
that we are not static beings,
Mhm.
and we can adjust, we can adapt to whatever circumstances given to us. So there's growth,
Mhm.
there's evolving and maturing that happens, that changes us and makes us better.
Has your MBTI type changed or evolved over time? We have been answering this a while ago.
Answered.
Or do you think it's consistent?
It has changed, the feeling part for me. I think that's it.
I
The
had
others, yeah, the others are pretty much the same. I think.
Same here. We have been changing through times because we have been encountering each other on our daily lives. Okay, last question. Do you think knowing each other's MBTI types has affected how you approach conflict resolution?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, like what we mentioned a while ago. We have fought less during this past few months because we have been learning each other's MBTI types. Do you have like words of encouragement for people that are still single? Like, are they supposed to use MBTI?
Well, I did. I had my non-negotiables
Uh-huh.
in the letters,
Mhm.
which I found. Well, it was still a trial and error. It will never be perfect. So just use it as a little guide, a little help, but don't base on it solely, because maybe you'll find your partner in a different form than you expected, which is you, right?
The heck, it's making me happy.
Mm.
We've been through a lot.
That's true.
Yeah, and I think that's where relationships should always be. Keep on adjusting with each other. You keep on understanding one another. You keep on learning with each other's flaws and also the things that you feel is very structured in their essence. But at the end of the day, you as well, personally speaking, I feel like even if you have a certain type or box, you also need to learn how to adjust your partner's needs. I feel like people should read more about their MBTI types
That's true.
because learning your own type would allow you to also understand other
Yourself
people.
more.
Yeah,
Yourself
yourself
and other
more and
more.
also other people.
That's true.
Because if you don't know things about yourself, it'll be harder for you to also adjust.
That's true.
Diba? So that's it for today's episode of Ask Baba. And if you like this video, kindly give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And feel free to comment down below other questions or other topics that you want us to talk about. Especially basing it on what we know and also the experiences we have in our relationship. So that's all. Thank you and hope to see you soon. Bye!
Okay, tapos na.
Tapos na!